What's up, y'all? This is Rom coming back at you with yet another couch video. The top tier men are not your competition. Let me just say that, and however you want to say top tier, top 20%, top 10%, 5%, 1%, whatever, high value man, all of that, they're not your competition. I want y'all to work, turn off this recording or video, whatever you're doing. Go find a mirror. Your only competition is yourself. Because, see, one of the problems is a lot of guys are so focused on the top 20%. It's like, well, I can't compete. And you know what I already said about that whole Chad thing any goddamn way, right? And how women really looking at men. No, your only competition is yourself. Because let's break this down. Let me explain this in a way that everyone can understand. Since a lot of people so caught up into being a high value man, a top tier man, and everything, and that's cool, to like be there, but understand something. You're not really there, and you know what? You might not be there, but that don't mean you ain't getting a woman. If you competing with that ideal, that don't mean anything. Like you got a lot of guys saying, well, if I get online, I ain't in the top 20%. Take your ass out in the streets then. A lot of women ain't online. It's still, many studies have shown it's mostly men online trying to get dates. Women still, and of course, if they online, if a woman's online, she gonna go for the top guy. Hell, if she got 100 guys to choose from, well, she gonna choose the best out of it. That's just common sense. But that's not the only way to meet women. And then you might not be able to compete with that hypothetical top tier anyway. You know what? You might not be a guy who makes six figures. You might not be a guy who's, that mythical 6 feet tall. Most guys are. You might not have like that low percentage of body fat. But let's go back to what I was saying. Women choose according to their cultural and, racial lens, their class, all of that. Depending on where you at, you might be the man. You might be the man, depending on what region you at, wherever you at. I remember this was a couple years ago. I was at this mall in Baltimore, Security Mall. People know about that area and stuff. Women would just boom, 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 but I looked ideal for that particular area, but I was just worried about me. And see, that's how you gotta be. You don't compete with it because it's some ideal, and plus, ain't enough of them to go around. And let me look at it still yet another way. You typically ain't going for the same type of women anyway. Because the only way, if you still say, well, no, I want to be that 1%er. Okay, what are you doing to make money? Real money. Because that's where you're going to have to be. And how much time you spending in the gym? If you go about all of that. Or even if you talk, some people be talking about blue checks and all of that. Having that status and everything. Well, that's cool for them and some content creators who got, but everybody ain't going to have it. That might not be your job. Your business might be to own that trucking company or just drive for it. Or you might be doing something where you can't even be online. There's a lot of guys who ain't online. You can't worry about that. Or you talking about these 1%ers and they getting these girls and these girls and they getting these baddies and all of that. Okay. But where are they at? Where are they going to? I got a young acquaintance and stuff. She be showing some stuff where the party she be at. But it just be her and her girls and stuff. Where the dudes who going to be in that environment? Are you going to be in that environment? You going to do the work? You going to get the money? You going to dress well? You going to do everything you can do? Or you got to be focused on what you are? Because, see, your main thing has to be your mission. Now, I was going to talk about, I'm going to still get into a man's relationship with himself. I was going to talk about this episode, but, the way I flow, even the way I record, I record several videos at once. So this was just touching. Just thinking about it, because a lot of guys are so caught up. They not that 1%er, or they not that 20%. It's like, no, you just be your best. You look in the mirror and say, no, I'm gonna present my best, And then you go by what I said in my earlier video this week, where I talked about where you at. What's your environment? You know, you only need to be there for those type of women, your tribe. You know, because I know some guys. Look, let me tell you what. See, here's the thing with me. I'm not limited in what I talk about and what the type of people I've been around. I'm that type. I've been around like the upper tier people, upper tier class. I also been around like the low gully class. You know, been around like, you know, the bourgeoisie. Also been around some hardcore black nationalists, you know, and then I've been around like the upper class whites, and also been around what would be called white trash. And one thing you see is it's different. They're gonna look at shit different. Everybody got their different nuances and everything. What a man has to do is don't worry about some ideal. See, first of all, that top tier class, gotta scratch this. That top tier group, they in their own world. That's a totally different world. If you ain't in that world, it don't mean anything. Your mission in life might not require you to be in that world, so you don't have to be there. Your mission in life, hey, you might be. There ain't nothing wrong with being blue collar, or there ain't nothing wrong with doing some more physical stuff. Shit, I know some guys, they made a lot of money. What they do, they cut grass. Whatever the case, and still get women. You know, you worry about being the best version of yourself. You don't want. I know, yeah, by nature men compete with each other, but don't be what you're not. If you're not some internet star or something, you don't have to be. You know, one of the things I think is some bullshit is when guys say, well, yeah, if you just do videos and everything, or you do this, you get that blue check. Yeah, that's for one group. You know how many people got YouTube channels or social media channels and they only got a few followers? The overwhelming majority. It's only a small percentage of people who really make money online. So why are you trying to compete with that? Or are you trying to compete with that millionaire? You don't know that millionaire's background. Whole lot of there's very few truly self-made millionaires any damn way. Very few. No, you need to worry about being the best for yourself. So, like physically, like I talk body game. I say your best body. Don't always say that. I say, yeah, if you got muscles, all of that, hey, that's great. But if not, just get your best body and see who it works for. Your best looks, your best haircut. You know, everybody don't have hair going down to the shoulder or all out. You know, you might have to keep that head shaved. Okay, just make sure it look nice. You know, and you just on a totally different tip. You know, but you know, don't worry about like that top guy. They in their own world, and they got their own shit with them too. You know, you worry about being your top self. Your top self. That's the key. That's the key. You know. Because to me, guys, you know, they feel like, well, I don't look like this. It's like, no, fuck that shit. And, you know, it's connected with what I was going to talk about. I'm going to talk about tomorrow. You know? But you focus on yourself. Don't worry about that next man. If they got that, like, big old car and they look a certain way, they get a certain type of woman, more power to them. Because you don't know what's going on behind closed doors anyway. You don't know who that woman really, she might be cheating on him. She might be giving him hell. You don't know his situation. You know? You worry about yourself. Your only competition is yourself. All you trying to do is be the best version of yourself. Very important, fellas. Very important, all right? So anyway, that's all I got for today. I'll get back with y'all. Peace and